Good morning, survivors. Hey, how you guys doing today? So a couple of things today. First of all, we're going to talk about why it's so hard to let go of your narcissist once you've split up from them, why you find yourself missing them, and how you can get over that. I guess how you can get over that is really what we're talking about. We've already talked about why in recent videos. So I have a lot of clients who are really struggling to let go of their narcissist, even though they know logically that it's the right thing to do. So we're going to talk about that. And before that, we're going to say one more thing, and that is thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because yesterday I reached 11,000 subscribers. So I love all of you. Thank you. Woo! For whatever reason, getting over a narcissist sometimes feels a lot harder than it does for any other breakup. But let's be honest, any breakup is difficult. Of course, we've already talked before about how, we become addicted to the narcissist, and I'll try to link out to that video, or you can just check it out on my channel. We basically, because of what we've grown up with, because of the abuse of the narcissist, we lose the ability to produce dopamine properly sometimes. So you can look at the other video on that and get the science behind that. But how do we get over it? What do we do? Okay. Look, it's never easy, and it can last weeks, the pain, months, years even. But the thing is that we don't allow it. And there's a tool that you can use, and I've talked about this before, but we're going to kind of go into it from a different angle, okay? A way that you can get over the narcissist. So let's do that. One of the things that we all have experienced and we can all understand is that during the first few days that we're not with the narcissist anymore, it's exhausting. It's probably some of the worst times in our lives. Am I right? We feel vulnerable, and of course the narcissist knows it, and they use that against us. They will leave without saying a single thing to us, or they will subject us to, the silent treatment, and we become almost crippled from it because we find ourselves just needing to know, needing to understand, and we actually will wait for the narcissist to come back instead of doing the right thing and just calling it off because we're just so abused. But what if we could maintain our strength during the breakup and end it finally, end our misery without giving up and falling for it again? It was your choice instead of their choice. It is your choice. Even if they're the one who dumped you, you can decide to stay done. Something you should know is that narcissists don't change. Even if they pretend they're going to change and everything seems wonderful, they don't. Any behavior changes that occur during, a recent unbreakup, if they come back, I'm sorry, I've done all the wrong things, and I'll start doing the right things now, you can bet that as soon as they feel comfortable that you're back and you're back in their stable or their harem, as it were, that things will go back to normal quickly. So one of the things that I suggest to my clients is that they put an end date on their suffering. They decide, when it's all over, and once they start coaching, I'll say, if you're ready, we can set an end date on the suffering. So what I mean by that is, let's say that we give ourselves 2 weeks, okay? And let's say during that 2 weeks, we can throw things, scream, break things, act crazy if we want to, cry a lot, do whatever we want to do, eat ice cream, whatever. But at the end of the 2 weeks, we have to promise ourselves that we're going to live again. I think, I've used this particular technique for everything from my grandfather's death to my actual divorce. So if you can get through the tough times that way, it's helpful. If you can allow yourself to feel the emotions and then allow yourself to move on with a time-based thing, that works. Another thing that works is that if you wake up in the morning and you feel like you want to die and you can't get through it, just decide, what, I'm just going to postpone this pain for 24 hours or 48 hours. Let's say 1 hour, tell yourself I'm not going to feel any pain until, 2 o'clock today. And then at 2 o'clock, maybe you won't even need to feel it then. Maybe you can put it off for a while. Now, what's the purpose of putting off the pain and not dealing with it? The reason you do this is because the further you can get from the pain, the easier it becomes to deal with. It puts you in a place where you can get a little bit of emotional distance and then see what you were actually dealing with. It's a lot harder to see it when you're still in the middle of it. You feel me? I think that's why a lot of my clients call me, because they need someone who can understand the situation, but who also is a third party and can see it from an unbiased standpoint. Truth is, there's no easy answer, but there are some things that you can do to make it, to get by, some little tools and techniques you can use to make it easier. So we're going to talk about that real quick. First, you're going to allow yourself to cry, which we talked about already. Give yourself a period of time that you're allowed to be sad and cry. And then you're going to want to, set the end date on that, though. That's going to be really useful for you. And you're going to want to obviously go no contact. And you're going to want to take some time with your friends or your family members, people maybe you haven't gotten to see lately because you've been isolated by the narcissist, or just people you see on the regular and that people you know will help your attitude and your mood feel better. This next one's a big one. And I just told a client this yesterday. The thing is, sometimes we still have their stuff in our house. We have their clothing, or we have their, hobby crap, or we have their, artwork or whatever. And the fact is that when it's over, it's over. So get rid of that stuff. Get rid of things that remind you of that person. If there are gifts that that person bought you or decor they put in your house, get rid of it. Start over. Do something different. It feels good. Journaling is another effective way to deal with it. Journaling, blogging, anything like that. Any way that you can write down your feelings and get them out is really useful. And I also suggest to people that they write a letter to the person, whether they send it or not, that just lets all their feelings out. Because the thing about narcissists is that a lot of times they don't give us closure. And I think that's why we struggle so much more than people do in other relationships when they end, because a normal healthy person might allow you to have a certain amount of closure before they move on. So a narcissist doesn't really want closure because they hope they can come back when they need your supply again. Another big important thing is that you got to stop thinking about it so much. You got to stop overanalyzing it and wondering, what could I have done better? How could I have done better? Because it wasn't your fault. Regardless of whether or not you were perfect, you weren't perfect. Nobody's perfect, my love. It doesn't mean that you were the sick and broken one there. Maybe you're broken a little bit because you've been through all that, and maybe you had some trouble as a child. But, it's time for you to stand up and recognize that the person you've been dealing with is not healthy, and that's not your fault. Another thing you can do is get your ass moving, okay? Studies have proven that when you move your body more, you have better connection to endorphins. And guess what? Dopamine sometimes comes right along with that. And dopamine's the thing that we need to feel good. The body chemistry and whatnot. So, yeah. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. You could just literally, walk around inside your house, or go for a walk around the block, or dance with your kids, or do some squats in the morning. I like squats. They're good for your butt. Finally, I'd recommend that you don't seek solace in another person to be dating or married to. Don't go looking for another person to calm you down, because the fact is that chances are that if you have been in a toxic relationship and you jump into something else, it may not be the best thing for you. So I'm not saying you can't go out and have fun. I'm just saying don't commit yourself to somebody very fast afterward. Commit to being single for a while. I chose to be single when I got divorced for about a year afterward, and it really was healthy for me to do that. It really helped me kind of find myself again. So remember to be nice to yourself. Remember to treat yourself like you love yourself. Treat yourself like a good mother would have treated you in this situation. Stop blaming yourself for the breakup, and stop overanalyzing all of the narcissist behaviors. Just start to move forward and think about life from here on out. Here's the exciting part. You've been in an abusive relationship. You've been having a very hard time, and now you get to choose what happens next, my friend. So why don't you choose wisely and choose something that makes you feel good? Don't forget, just the fact that you broke up doesn't change what happened and what you went through. So don't idealize your ex. Don't overthink it. Don't put yourself in the place where you're like, oh, he or she was perfect and I was terrible and it's all my fault. It's not your fault. Stop thinking that way. Don't overanalyze it. The bottom line is, it wasn't you, it was them, and I'm not kidding. And the fact is that, as many of us know, narcissists have this cycle. They come back. And so what you need to do is steel yourself. And when I mean S-T-E-E-L, steel, be strong, be ready, because when they come back, you're going to have to make a choice, and I hope you make the right one for yourself. Now's the time for you to learn to love you. Can you do that for me? Learn to love you. So today, before you start your day, I'd like you to take a big old gulp of coffee or tea or whatever you're drinking, and I'd like you to think of 10 things that you're grateful for in your life and 3 things that you love about yourself. If you can do this every day, it can already start to change your vibration in the right way. I'd like you to do something nice for yourself today, and I'd like you to promise yourself that you're not going to cry about that narcissist today, okay? You can cry tomorrow if you want to. Let's not cry. What do you think? Okay, I'm wrapping up for now. I've got several calls today, and I've got videos to make and all the good stuff, and I've got to get that girl to school. So I will see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of my life. Thanks for letting me be a part of yours. And for the 11,017 of you who have subscribed so far, thank you. I sincerely appreciate you. I will see you later today for another video. Have Have a wonderful day.